In case you're wondering what's the difference between DBT Core and DBT Cloud, I'm going to tell you in this video. There is actually a web page here that contains all of the features. Of course, feel free to explore it. This is official DBT stuff. But I think there is some context that you should know to understand this a bit better. The first thing is DBT was born back in 2016. Back then, it was a fully open source command line tool. It was 100% free to use. It runs locally on your own computer. All of the code is available on GitHub, so you can check it, you can fork it, you can create your own version. It's all there. 2 years after building DBT Labs, and back then they used to be called Fishtown Analytics, they created DBT Cloud, which was a paid platform. It was sold as a SaaS platform, and the idea is that it was like a cloud application, so no need to worry about architecture, nothing. DBT Cloud does quite a bit of the heavy lifting for you. You don't need to worry about hosting the DBT documentation. You don't need to worry about orchestration, about setting up environments. You don't need to worry about making backups of your DBT artifacts if you want to do something like Slim CI. DBT Cloud just handled quite a lot more, and it also came with some collaboration and security features that might be interesting for some companies. 2 years back, it was very common for most people to have some sort of hybrid approach. As in, they will have some people working directly with DBT Core and some people, maybe the less technical users, working with DBT Cloud. And of course, probably you would also wanted your production run to run through DBT Cloud. There is even an article right here. This one is from October of 2024. And it just tells you how exactly they envision both products to coexist together. However, right after this was published, something very interesting happened, and you might see it already here. DBT actually decided to fully rewrite their code base. Instead of working with DBT Core, which was the one that is now 10 years old, they've decided to create a new engine called Fusion. Fusion has two characteristics. Firstly, it compiles the code a lot faster, but to me the one that is interesting is that it provides a lot of features that improve your experience as a developer. Lots of errors spot before running or building, which is probably going to save you quite a lot of money in the long term. What happens is DBT Core is still there, it's available to be used, but the future is definitely DBT Fusion. DBT Fusion still has one interesting I don't know if you can call it issue. Maybe I can find it here. No. And that is not fully supported by every single adapter out there. In fact, being honest, it's not supported by DuckDB, and that to me is like one of those things that breaks my heart. So if you're not using one of the big ones, so like the Redshifts, the BigQueries, the Databricks, Snowflakes, if you're not using one of those, the list is a bit bigger than that, probably DBT Fusion and the newest versions of DBT Cloud are not going to work for you. And instead of having some users on DBT Core and some users on DBT Cloud, what Fusion envisions is that everybody has a DBT license, and it's fully up to you if you want to work in the Cloud IDE, or if you prefer working directly in VS Code using the official DBT Labs VS Code extension. DBT Fusion is definitely the future of DBT, and in fact I envision myself rewriting this course maybe next year to fully use DBT Fusion and the VS Code extension. However, for now I just decided to work with DuckDB and DBT Core. The videos that you're gonna see from now on, all of them are going to be filmed with the VS Code project that works locally with DBT Core. And the reason for that is because DBT Cloud does a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So I'm confident that those of you following with DBT Cloud and BigQuery are going to have not too many issues. trying to realize what needs to happen rather than the other way around. And also remember, if you care about learning DBT Cloud, DBT's documentation and their courses are outstanding. So I'm confident that none of you is ever gonna get lost. Throughout the series of videos, I'm gonna try to make clarifications if there is something that is gonna be a bit different in DBT Cloud, but I don't expect this to be too much of an issue. This course, it really doesn't matter which of the two you learn. In fact, if you're a consultant, you probably work a bit with both. So it's nice to focus a little bit on what they have in common instead of their differences.